All right, so today I'm doing something different. I'm not doing prayers. I am going to see if you can read a story. And there is Beryl. Hi, Beryl.
Hi there,
All
Carol.
right. And Alin. Good. So I get everybody. I feel like I've got a big lasso. I'm getting everybody in. Sherry, Lynn, I've got her. Let me see if I got everybody. I think I have everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we've got part of the gang. All right, so what I wanted to do, as we've been going along, we've been learning some roots and some important Hebrew words. This old book that I have, and I did present this book to Julia, has stories that are from folk tales that are very popular. And it has stories about all the holidays. And so there's a lot of vocabulary from holiday Hanukkah and Tu B'Shvat. I mean, you name the holidays, got the high holidays. And I remembered that I had this book, and I used to teach with it in Hebrew school in the 7th grade. And the kids did remarkably well with it. And they found it very easy. We're talking 7th graders who hate everything. So, and this they like because they felt successful. This they could do because it coaches you. And I wanted to see not only the reading. I mean, we're supposed to be practicing Hebrew reading, but also if you could understand the story. And we've been working on understanding the prayers and prayer vocabulary. So this is more of regular Hebrew vocabulary. And I just wanted to see how you would do with it. Now, you can almost not miss with this book because it aims at success. It doesn't let you fail. It gives you all the answers almost in advance to the translation. So we're going to read, and I have everybody read a little bit, and then we'll do a line at a time and translate. So I picked 3 stories out that have to do with Shavuot. The first one is a legend that has to do with Rabbi Akiva. The second one is a very famous short story that it's called The Boy Who Whistled. I can't remember right now the author, but it's very famous. And the third one is another Midrash. So we have folktale, we have Midrash, we have supposed history with Rabbi Akiva, and that's Midrash about the giving of the Torah. So let's see, you might have heard some of these along the way, just from being in synagogue or just in general Jewish reading. So I figured let's give it a try. And I said to Julia, I would love to teach a class like this next fall, but I don't know if she's going to stick to, just the beginning, advanced beginning, and intermediate, and that's as far as it goes. But this pushes it a little bit. So the first one is called Talmud Torah. Does the word Talmud Torah mean anything to anybody? Oh, there's Diana. Hi, Diana.
Hi.
So kids who go to an Orthodox Hebrew school, a day school, that's called Talmud Torah. And there's the word school is not in that expression. Talmud is learning, and a Talmid is a student. So learning Torah, the study of Torah, and that would be a day school. So if someone says, oh, my kid's going to a Talmud Torah, that's what they mean, and that's Orthodox, or it could be Chabad. So the first one, and anybody know anything about Rabbi Akiva? Okay, so Rabbi Akiva was unlearned, and he got to a certain point, and this story tells what the turning point was for him. And then he decided to go and study. And the turning point is something simple that happened. But if you have a great intellect like he did, a simple event will make you think of something a little more complex and a little deeper. And that's exactly what happened to him. And then he became Rabbi Akiva, the great scholar, with a school of his own and Talmidim of his own. So the first thing it says on the first page, it has a name, study of Torah, and then it says the encouragement of learning, particularly of the Bible, dominates Jewish life. The highest ambition of the Jew was to be a scholar. Remember Fiddler on the Roof? For Papa, make him a scholar. For Mama, make him rich as can be. So that was like the greatest thing. If you had a scholar as a son-in-law, that was the epitome. You have reached the heights. And the father-in-law was expected to support him in his all-day, everyday studies. So the son-in-law's job was to learn. And the father-in-law's job was to be in business and support him and his daughter. I don't think that that's generally acceptable today, except maybe with very Orthodox and in Chabad world, where they like to go on somebody's yichus, somebody's background. How are you related to this great rabbi? And they want to have you in the family. That's like a coup, have somebody who's related to a great rabbi or a great cantor. So it still smacks of the old world. Hi, Janice.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
You're not.
I can't believe today is the last day. Oh my.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
We're doing.
So
Do you have this story out, Janice?
The ones that you sent me?
Stories. I sent 3 stories.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so then they have a quote here. But Talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is greater than them all. So there you go. That's the thing they went by. Study of Torah, and you're a diamond, and you're a great son-in-law. So first they give you, just to show you what they do, first they give you some vocabulary, and then they give you terms related to learning about book and things like that. And then even in the story, there's a ton of footnotes, and those words are below. So you kind of can't fail in trying to translate this. That's why it was a fail-safe for me, and the kids really loved it. And it made them feel that they really learned something that day in Hebrew school. So what did you learn in Hebrew school? I read a story and I could translate it. This is really an amazing thing, a building of confidence. So I'll say the word. Let's go over the main words. And anybody, if you recognize one of them, speak up and tell me, yeah, I know that word. Okay, the first is shepherd, ro'eh.
Okay.
Everybody say it, ro'eh.
Ro'eh.
Okay, he studied lamad.
Yes, we know that.
Does anyone know how to say I study Hebrew?
Ani lomedet ivrit.
Right, ani lomedet ivrit. If you can say that, then they'll start speaking to you in Hebrew, and then you'll say, lo, I didn't really mean it. Lo be'emet, it's not true.
They say kasat.
Kasat ivrit. Because I have a Ukrainian girl in my ESL class, and I remembered from Russian class I took, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years ago. So one day I walked in, I looked at my old Russian book and I said, Dobre dien, and she almost fell off her chair, which means good morning. It was funny. Okay, chashav. Chashav. Okay, when you say I think, it's ani choshevet. Okay, so there's a well in the story, Be'er. Has anyone ever heard of the place called Be'er Sheva?
Yes.
The well, okay, the well of 7. Okay, Be'er Sheva. Okay, and we have Evan. Evan is a stone. Evan. Let's hear everybody say them. Chor.
Evan.
Okay, together. 1, 2, 3. Chor. It's not a bad word. It means a hole. It's a legitimate Hebrew word. Now, tipot mayim. You all know mayim. What's mayim?
Water.
Mayim. Okay. Tipot. Tipa is not a teapot. Tipa is a drop. Tipot mayim. Drops of water. And that's a significant phrase in the story. Tipot mayim. Drops of water. This is a word we use a lot. Ratzah. Wanted. And when you say I want, ani rotzah. If you're a lady, you say ani rotzah. Okay. Okay. Shana, we know Shana Tova, year, and this is shanim. Okay, years past. And Avru, Shanim Avru, years passed.
Avru.
Okay.
Avru.
All right, the word Hebrew, Ivrit, comes from they passed over a certain area, probably the Jordan. The Hibiru, they passed over the Jordan River. Avru al Hayarden. Okay, now these words pretty common. The crows to read, the crow,
Crow.
Crow.
Lilmod,
Lilamod.
okay,
And
Sefer.
Fair.
So when you say Ani Lomedet Ivrit, so Lilamed, and so there's Ani Milamed, it means I teach. So
Mhm.
those two verbs are always confusing. One is Lomedet, I study, and Ani Milamed. Okay, now a beit is a house, right? Beit Sefer, a school,
Beit
house of the
Sefer.
book, right? House of the book, Beit Sefer. Moreh,
Alright.
how would you say a female teacher?
Mora.
Morah, okay, Morah. Okay, and a Talmud is a student. In modern Hebrew, they also say student, but you know, they take a lot of words from English and they put a Hebrew accent and you've got a new word. Okay, so a Talmud, and what would,
One, on the he wanted, it's Ratzah for he wanted. Did you say that was Ratzah was for she wanted?
no. Ratzta would be she wanted. Ratzah is
Okay.
he wanted.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right, and a Talmud is a student, and how would you say a female student?
Talmida.
Amida.
A Talmidah, because the feminine ending has the ah and a hey, right? So that's where we are. Okay, so now is the story. Akiva, if you sound it out, there you have the name Akiva. Everybody should be able to sound that out. And what I would suggest over the summer, if you all have the basic book, if there are any letters in the alphabet that still make you crazy,
Mhm.
that are still like impeding your reading, like if it's an iron, every time you look at the iron in the prayer book and then you feel like the horse going away from the barrier, like I just don't know this, or the kuf, any letter, I would say take out your primer, your basic book, and look at the page that it's presented on. And then they have kako kukeki, cookie, me want cookie. They have a lot of practice, just phonetic practice to get over the barrier. Because if you have a word, a letter that's stopping you, it may really impede your pronunciation. So here's a chance to really be honest with yourself and say, okay, I know this letter is giving me ajita. I'm going to master this letter. And then just hit it, just attack it. Just go after that one thing. Okay, so you know that at the diamond is the end of the sentence. And by the way, sentence, this is interesting in Hebrew. There's a parsha called Mishpatim. Does anyone know what Mishpat means or Mishpatim?
Family.
So that's Mishpacha.
Laws.
So Mishpatim are really like
Laws.
sentences. Yeah, they're punishments. Mishpat is a sentence, a grammatical sentence, and Mishpatim are the laws, punishments. If you do this, this is what happens to you. Okay, so you see a diamond, that means stop. So I want everyone to read one sentence. And let's just be practicing our, oh, is Rhoda there?
Rhoda's here, but she had her
But
eyes
she's
checked today.
No.
I
Okay,
had
Rhoda.
not have eye drops in my eyes, so it's hard for me to read. I'm following everything though the best I can.
Okay, very good. Good to have you with us. Okay, so I'm gonna go from the top. Beth, why don't you read the first sentence? So it's Akiva Haroeh, Akiva the shepherd is the name of the story.
Okay. Ben Arbaim Shana Haya Akiva Haroeh Velo Yada Likro Basefer.
Okay, Yeah, very good. Oh,
Good.
no mistakes. Beautiful
Oh,
reading.
good.
How much of that can you put together and translate? Can you put any of that together?
4 years.
A son or a 40-year-old boy.
Man.
Oh, 40 years old.
At that
40
point, we'll
years
call him a man.
He was 40.
He
40.
was married.
Years old. Akiva was 40 years old.
Okay, Haya,
Was
good.
Akiva, that's his name, Akiva.
Mhm.
Haroeh velo yada.
He wrote, is his profession.
That's a doctor? Wait, did it? No.
No, that's a
Roeh,
roquet.
shepherd,
Hi, Edie.
shepherd. And
No.
he knew
Didn't know how to read books.
yada.
Okay, so he was a shepherd.
Oh,
Haya Akiva
And not,
ro'eh,
and lo is not.
And he didn't know.
or didn't, and he didn't.
Didn't.
No.
Grow.
Didn't know to
Didn't
read.
know to read from a book.
Right, and Yodea is to know how to. Okay, so there was a shepherd named Akiva, and he didn't know how to read, he didn't know how to read a book. He was illiterate, right? That's what we would say. He was illiterate, didn't have any letters. Okay, let's go with Michelle. Take the next one.
Okay, let's see. So, Ligro, Bas.
No, don't, not after the two,
sorry.
after the diamond, after Bas Sefer.
Gotcha. Ratza, Akiva, Lilmod, Torah, Aval, Hashav, Ki Hu, Kivar, Zakain.
Excellent, Mitsuyan. All right, what does this mean?
Oh, wow, that's the hard part.
He wanted to learn Torah.
For the first word, Ratsa, go to the vocabulary list.
He wanted
Uh-huh.
Akiva wanted
Mhm.
To learn.
Mode
Learn to
Learn.
to learn
Mhm.
Torah.
Aval.
But.
Mhm. But.
What? Oh, is that but? Oh, okay. Let's see about Hashav.
Go to the vocabulary list.
Yeah.
He thought.
Hashav. Yeah. He thought. The key.
Anybody know key? Key is that.
that.
That. Okay.
He.
Who? That he.
You know, in Hebrew, it's confusing. Who is he?
That's right. It. Yep.
And he is she.
And he is she. And me is who?
Kavar.
Look on the footnotes.
Footnotes. Oh, Kavar. Let's see. That's not. Oh, number 3. Okay, that he was already came too old.
Right.
Oh,
Okay, so he thought he'd had no more opportunity. This is it. He's finished. Okay. Edie, you want to read the next one? Very good. Good translation. Start from Pa'am. Do you see where we are? Am I saying your name right? Is it Eddie or Edie?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking to me.
Okay, how do you pronounce your name?
Edie.
Edie, okay, just like Edie Gourmet. I got you.
Okay. Pa'am ra'ah Akiva be'er ba'al yad. Haba'ar even. Haba'er even gedola.
Good, very nice.
Okay. So Pa'am is,
Pa'am means once.
okay. So once he saw
Once Akiva saw the air, a well,
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Look at the footnotes.
but no. He saw a well nearby.
Mhm.
Habar,
Near the well, Al Yad HaBe'er, keep going, was what? Go to the vocab.
I'm looking. A stone,
A large stone.
Don't lie.
Large.
a large stone. Okay.
Okay, so there's a well, and next to the
The
well,
well was a large stone.
right, perfect. There's a large stone. So you're wondering now, how is he going to learn his life lesson from this? Interesting. Okay, Janice, take it away. Hayu. Janice, there's some black thing that's in front of your screen,
Oh.
and you look like something out of Star Wars.
Okay,
It
what's
looks
happening?
like a lightsaber. What is
Oh,
it?
okay. Is that it? Oh, this is my thing on my ears.
Oh, it looked like a
earbuds.
lightsaber. I thought you were gonna go.
That's so funny. Okay, so Hayu, Horim, Ba'avin, Sha'al,
Ah, no fair. It's too small. Okay, Hayu means there were. There
Akiva.
were.
Akiva.
Where are you?
Okay.
I'm lost.
No, there's a small 3-word sentence there. Hayu Horim Ba'evan.
Hayu.
What you just read.
Yeah, Akiva, the one, is that where I am?
Okay, but that's on the next sentence.
Oh, that's,
See the
oh,
diamond at the end? That means that's the end of that. You have a
oh, okay,
3-word
so,
sentence.
that I was finished by, I should have been finished by Evan. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm finished.
You have to translate it.
Oh.
Hold low, not yet. Hayu means there were.
Okay, okay, I'm just going to working out where I'm supposed to start. Oh, there. Oh, is that I started Pa'am?
Can you tell me
do.
where we are? I've lost us. What row?
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4th row, 4th line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th word in. 4th line down,
Okay.
5th word in.
Hayu. Is that the
Hayu.
one?
Correct.
Hayu.
I'm
Hayu,
fine.
sorry.
How are you?
Hayu, Turim. Oh my goodness. I'm not
Okay,
very good with the
Chorim.
translating.
Chorim. Look at the
Chorim.
vocabulary, not
Okay,
Torim, Chorim.
Chorim. I didn't see it.
Yep,
There.
the 5th word down.
Huh?
Oh, no, not there.
It's in
Okay, where is
parentheses.
it?
It's in
6th word down.
parentheses.
One next to the one in parentheses. Chor,
Oh,
Chorim.
Chorim. Oh, it's a hole. Okay,
Oh.
so
Right. Hello, Helene.
so
Hello. Sorry, I just got back from physical therapy, so I don't have books or anything in front of me. I'm just
That's okay.
very
You can listen.
tired.
There
but
were.
I'll just listen.
What are Chorim? Somebody jump in. What are Chorim?
Holes.
Holes.
a
There are
hole.
holes. But Evan, remember
Ba'avin.
there's a big stone
In the
Ba'avin.
stone.
in the stone.
Okay,
There
thank
were
you.
holes in the stone. Curious, right? Big stone, and there's holes in it. Okay. All right, Sherry Fox, continue.
Sha'al Akiva.
Wait, I won't be finished with you yet. You'll do more. What does that part mean?
I can't
Okay,
remember.
you know, on Passover, we ask She'elot.
I know Sha'al and I don't remember it.
You do. What is a She'elah? Arba She'elot. Ma nishtana. What do we ask?
Questions?
Questions.
Yeah.
So the verb lish'ol is to ask.
Yes.
To ask a question.
Ask.
So
Akiva
Sha'al
asked.
means
Akiva
he
asked.
asked. Akiva asked. Continue reading.
Mi asa chorim ele Ben, not, oh, Ba'aven.
Ba'evan.
Ba'evan.
Good. So me means who?
Who?
Who made
made,
the holes
Uh-huh.
in this stone?
made these holes in the stone?
Right, who made these holes in the stone? He's wondering, you know, he's looking at nature and he's, well, who made the holes in the stone? Okay, let's go with Sherry Lynn.
More low. Isn't
That's
that like a sentence or not?
Did.
In the Torah it would be.
I did.
That's a tet, teapot. Sounds like
Oh.
teapot, teapot.
Ha-
My
Tiva. Me.
Hey, where are you?
Asa.
Amrulo, teapot.
Wait a minute, I'm not sure where I'm at the same spot you are.
Okay, it's next to
Oh.
the last sentence in that first paragraph.
My shared.
Me asa horim ele ba'erim
Oh.
Oh, no, you're reading the
Okay.
line above. You're reading the one we read
Keep
already.
reading, keep reading.
Then amru lo
Good.
tipot hamayim asher no float
Mhm.
yom al ha'erin
Evan,
Evan Asu Horim Eleh.
okay, so we got to Amrulo. They said to him, all right, so who made the holes, these holes in the stone? Okay, so he must have asked somebody, it doesn't say who, it doesn't matter. They said to him, they answered, okay. What are tipot hamayim?
Drops of water.
You're gonna find that in the vocabulary list.
Drops of
For
water.
the tet.
Drops of water.
Mhm. Asher means that.
At
They're falling. It's
hello. Let's see.
falling.
I'll look on the
Yeah.
bottom, find the 9
Falling.
that are falling, drops of water that are falling. Yom yom. Anyone
Every
figure that
day.
out? Yom.
Every
Every
day,
day.
daily, day by
Yum
day.
yum. Sounds like yum yum. Yum yum.
Every day.
Okay. All
On
Evan.
what's that? The what? Drops of
Stone.
water were falling on the
Stone.
Stones.
stone.
Stones.
Made
Holes.
asu.
Holes.
Made holes. Made these holes. Ela means these.
Ah,
Okay, so what did he, before we read the last part, what do you think he's figuring out here? Anybody wanna, what's going on in his mind?
Can you just tell me what page you're on? I'm looking at what you sent on my phone so that I can.
Page 35, Helene,
Lesson 8.
35,
Thank you.
the first lesson. All right,
Oh,
well,
okay.
what is he thinking? He's seeing a big stone, big, strong stone, and he sees holes in the stone. And he asked people, well, what's this? How did that happen? Where are these holes coming from? And they said, little by little, drops of water falling on the stone made the holes. So before we read the end, what is he thinking? What kind of lesson is this for him? This is a big revelation. I guess you guys are not Rabbi Akiva's.
What's the number though?
So what is he thinking? How could this apply to him?
Little by little, you could gain some knowledge.
Right, poco a poco.
By day, day by day, drop by drop.
Drop by drop, tipot, ba tipot, drop by drop. And he's thinking, well, maybe I could start learning a little bit at a time. Start with the alphabet, just get started. He's 40 years old. And he was very frustrated. He really wanted to learn Torah, but he had no teacher. He had to work. He was a poor guy. He was a shepherd. So he said, little by little, it makes a dent, little by little, just like you started with, learning the letters and advanced in the beginning and in advanced beginning and in intermediate, little by little, you're reading Hebrew. Amazing, isn't it? It's a wonder. Okay. Rhoda, will you read the next sentence? Can you read it or your eyes no
I'll
good?
try my best.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I'm at Amar, is that correct?
Okay.
Okay, Amar,
Okay, right.
Akiva. That's it. Should I carry on?
No such luck.
Okay. Is that Hine?
Yes.
Okay. Ha-even. Shahia. Is that Shahia or just Shahi?
Shahi. Shahi. There's nothing under the olive.
Okay, so it's just Shahi. Kasha and Boo? Ba'u? It's Ba'u? See, I don't understand.
Ba'u.
Okay, I with the Aleph, I have a bit of a problem sometimes. Ba'u. Okay, and then we have, okay, that's Sifut.
Tipot.
Oh, no.
That's a tet and a pay and a tav on the end. Tipot.
Tipot. Mayim. Ba'asu. Ba. Horim.
You got it.
Okay.
Now comes the fun part. Now
No,
let's see.
you're not going to ask me to translate. I'm just so bad at that. Okay.
All right. Amar Akiva. Akiva said, Amar, you don't have here. Amar Akiva.
Okay.
Akiva said, now he's thinking, I guess he's thinking to himself. What's Hine? Hine matovu manai.
Here is.
Da, 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 da.
Here is.
Here is like what is good.
Okay.
So Akiva said, here is the what? Ha'even.
The stone.
Okay.
Now that's a prefix. She. That is kasha. Kasha is hard. A stone is hard. It's heavy. It's hard. Kasha is hard. Kasha.
Kasha.
Ba'u tipot mayim. Ba'u, I don't think they gave you that one. Came.
Water.
Came. Drops of water. And what they do? Asu.
They made. They
made a hole
in it, in the stone. Chorim. Holes. Yeah, I heard it. Holes. Akiva said, "Here is the stone, which is hard. Drops of water came and made in it, in the stone, holes." Good.
Okay.
So he's thinking about himself. He's making a parallel between the stone and his own life. What could happen with him? Okay. Who has it? Alin.
Haim, Halev, Sheli, Kasher, what's that? May, is that a?
May.
It gets hard to see it. May.
I know.
May
Evan.
Is that a question mark or?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
so
question mark. Okay, do that part. Haim Halev Sheli Kasher May Evan. He's asking himself. Haim introduces a question. It's like, what's lev?
Heart.
The part of your body.
Heart.
Is Halev Sheli is my
heart.
My heart is my heart. Kasher. Strong.
Strong.
Hard. Strong. Is my heart
as hard as the stone?
Tough, strong, hard like a stone. May like a stone. So he's easing into the idea of studying. He says, well, look, the drops of water falling on the stone, making holes. It's penetrating. Is my heart, like my brain, my heart, so strong that nothing could penetrate? Am I like a stone? He's a person. So now he's getting the idea. He's getting excited now, right? Okay. Helene, are you wanting to read?
I'll try, but you all are so far ahead of me now as far as understanding the words. But
I'll help you.
Let's see,
All right, I'll be your understudy.
me.
Don't worry about it.
Heaven.
Dog
Okay,
zegt nicht, I'll help you.
thank you. Okay, Halach, Akiva, Levet, HaSefer, Yashev, Al Saf,
Yashav,
Hashav. Okay, where Yashav.
Yashav, al.
Shav al Saf Tel. No,
Saf, Sal.
Okay. Halarim Velama.
Well, you have that little word there, im. This is the word for children. Im ha.
Aladim.
Yaladim.
Line of up.
Aladim.
Okay. Im haladim.
Yeladim.
Bayamar Balamar Aleph.
Bilamad.
Aleph Bay.
Okay.
Is
Right.
that the
Halach Akiva. That's good. Halach Akiva. He went. Levet HaSefer.
To the
Okay,
school.
look where it says
To the school.
terms for on the page 34. What place is Beit HaSefer?
School. He went to the school.
School. He went to the house of the book. He went to school. Yashav.
He sat
Sat on the, look at number 10.
on a bench.
He sat on the safsal. He sat on the bench because they had in the yeshivas there, in the learning place, the bench, like they had in the revolutionary days in the schoolhouse, a bench. There's nothing fancy here. He sat on the bench with im hayeladim,
Children.
who are yeladim, with the children,
Mm-hmm.
vilamad,
And studied.
and learned.
Aleph
What's Aleph Bet?
The
Alphabet.
alphabet.
The Aleph Bet, Aleph Bet, Bet, Gimel Dalet. He learned Aleph Bet. So he was a man who didn't have that feeling of too proud to start from the beginning, which shows, I think, something about his innate character. He was not afraid to go with the kids. And imagine today when a kid gets left back and they're with a younger class. And when I went to school, I remember a punishment was if you were, let's say, in third grade and you were making noise, they put you to sit in a second grade class, and that was mortifying. And that was embarrassing. Here is a man, 40-year-old man who's married to Rachel, and he's not afraid to go and sit with the kids, with the Kindler, and learn Aleph Bet. Now, I think that's quite amazing. Don't you think that that's an amazing thing at any time?
I did
Okay,
it.
I mean,
I did it at 67 years old.
so here you go. So a lot of you could identify with that, it's an amazing thing that you've done. Okay, so the last sentence, Lo avru shanim rabot, many years did not pass. The Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Akiva, Hayala Chacham Gadol, became a great scholar in Israel. And so this is a very nice story.
So
I
it's
think
almost
a
like,
very
Carol, it's
intelligent
almost like
story.
saying it wasn't long before. Like many years did not pass. It wasn't long
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, Lo avru shanim, many years didn't pass. Mhm.
Right, so
And
it
not
wasn't
many
like,
years later.
if you want to say it kind of in English, it's like really saying many, not long, it wasn't
Not long
long
after.
before, not much time
long
passed.
after.
Right.
Yeah, not much time passed. Okay, now, what we're gonna do is, you've heard the story, you've translated. Now I'm going to read a sentence and you're going to keep up with me. You're going to repeat after me all together. I want every single mouth working here. All right? All right. Okay, here we go. Here you go. All right. Ben arba'im shana.
Ben
arba'im shana.
Shana.
Haya Akiva haro'eh.
Haya Akiva haro'eh.
V'lo yada likro b'sefer.
Below
yada
Mikro Basefer.
Ratsa Akiva.
Akiva.
Lilmod Torah.
Lilmod Torah.
Aval. Chashav ki hu kevar zaken. Okay, that word chashav. Okay. Now after the four. Ha'am ra'a Akiva.
Akiva.
Be'er.
Be'er.
The al yad ha'be'er. Evan Gedola. Hayu chorim ba'evan.
Ba'evan.
Sha'al Akiva.
Akiva.
Mi asa chorim ela.
Mi asa chorim le.
Ba'evan.
Ba'evan.
Amrulo.
Amrulo.
Tipot hamayim.
Tipot hamayim.
Asher noflim.
Asher noflim.
Yom yom.
No float.
It sounds like yum yum. I'm sorry. I wasn't hungry. Yom yom.
Yum yum.
Al ha'evan.
Al ha'evan.
Asu chorim ela.
Asu chorim ele.
In case I lost you, we're on that second paragraph. Amar Akiva.
Amar Akiva.
Hine ha'evan.
Hine ha'evan.
Shehi kasha.
Shehi kasha.
Ba'u tipot mayim.
Ba'u tipot mayim.
Ve'asuba chorim.
Ba'asuba chorim.
Ha'im halev sheli.
Ha'im halev sheli.
Kasher me'even.
Kasher me'even.
Halach Akiva.
Halach Akiva.
Leveit hasefer.
Leveit hasefer.
Yashav al sapsal.
Yashav al sapsal.
Im hayeladim.
Im hayeladim.
Vilamad aleph beit.
Vilamad aleph beit.
Lo avru shanim.
Lo avru shanim.
Rabot. Rabbi Akiva.
Rabbi Akiva.
Haya. Think of Miss Piggy. Haya. Always think of that word, Miss Piggy with Haya. Haya. L'chacham gadol b'Yisrael.
L'chacham gadol b'Yisrael.
Right. In Jewish commentary, when they say Chachamim, the sages say, Those are, or the rabbis of old, or maybe they were the old rabbis, but the sages say that's their commentary on something. Okay, you got through it. Not bad. Now we have time to do maybe another one. We're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna play shark. Kids used to love to play shark.
I don't know.
Shark.
Shark, I have no
No, you
idea.
don't know what shark is.
I
You
don't
haven't
know.
lived until you played shark.
Wonderful.
Okay. And by the way, there's been shark sightings on Long Island. So there's the end of the beach for me. Okay, page 44. We'll go over the vocabulary. Now, this is the one that's a very, Isaac Bashevis Singer, I think, wrote this. I.B. Singer.
What's
I
the
believe
title?
he wrote the story.
What's the title of it,
Okay.
please?
Okay, Had Sadiq Ba Kfar, but that, it's called The Boy Who Whistled. I think it's Ivy saying, I'm not sure. Tefillah, prayer. Prayer is worship of the heart. It expresses our hopes and our needs. Through prayer, we ask of God courage under affliction. Amen to that. Strength under temptation, guidance in life's problems and difficulties. Well, you've all gone through things. You know what that's talking about. Where is this quote from?
Shema.
How many paragraphs are there in the Shema?
Hanim. Kohanim. Blessing. Oh, no, it's,
No.
Oh,
How many, it's from the Shema. Sherry's right. How many paragraphs? When we recite the Shema in the synagogue, we usually recite the first paragraph, this one, V'ahavta together. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, etc. And the kids sing V'ahavta et Adonai as a sing song. But how many more paragraphs are there in the Shema? Two. Two. And the third one is when, if you're wearing a talit, the rabbi will say, maybe at the camp, now's the time to gather your tzitzit, the fringes, you'll hold them in your hand. And in the third paragraph of the Shema, there are 3 times when it mentions the word tzitzit. And every time they mention the word tzitzit, you bring them to your mouth and you kiss them.
You kiss them.
What? It's hard to do with a mask on. So you make believe kiss it through the mask. But there's 3 times of the word tzitzit, okay, that they are a reminder of the mitzvot. Okay, and so that's the third paragraph. The second paragraph is the if-then clause. It says, I will, if you're good, I will give you rain and your crops will be good and the animals will eat and everything's great. And then it goes, however, but if you do not follow my commandments, it'll go really bad with you. I won't protect you. I won't protect the crops. Things will dry up. You'll die off the land. It's really pretty serious. Okay, this is such a lovely folktale. And like I say, I think it's by Isaac Bashevis Singer, and it's The Boy Who Whistled. There are different versions of folktales. So you might see it in one collection of stories one way, and another one, it might be slightly different. But here we go. Here's how we play shark. So we have with us today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 experts, all of you, and one of me. So the way I used to play. Okay, we have a bunch of experts here. All right, so somebody will start reading. The kids used to love this game. Somebody will start reading and they will following it anxiously. As soon as that person made a mistake, somebody jumped in and corrected it and they were allowed to continue. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So that's why it was sharp, okay? Look, if you teach 7th graders, you have to have a big bag of tricks, big bag of tricks. Okay. Just to get started, I'll start reading and then I'll make a mistake. And let's see if you're following me, you have to listen. So this is reading and listening. Here we go. Sadiq HaKafri. Yoshke Haya Na'ara. I made a mistake.
Na'ar.
You gotta jump in. No good. Yehudi Kafri. Toda.
Torah.
Say to. All right. Diana, jump in. And if she makes a mistake, get her.
But the next word, it's not clear. Is that low? I mean, I can't, the letter's not there.
Yes, it's low.
Okay, low. Okay, low lamad.
Wait. Oh, is somebody having a hard time here? What?
Yeah,
What's
I don't
the
know. It's Helene. I heard you say Hasidic, but I don't see that on page 44.
45 on the
45.
top.
Oh, it's on 45.
Hasidic.
Okay, Hatzadik means the
Oh, it's-
tzaddik, the righteous
I see.
person
I'm sorry. I was
in the village,
okay.
the righteous villager. But
Okay.
it's really called the boy who whistled. Okay, take it away, Diana.
Okay, so that was Torah, lo lamad yoshke vegam likro basidur lo yada. Eval, aval. Again, the last letter is not clear. Yada. I can read the letter.
Those are the two. It's the two that's confused next to the lamed.
No, it's not the two. It's the
Yeah,
next
but she
word. I
said
can't-
aval. That is a footnote thing.
Yeah,
She said
but the
aval.
next word,
Aval
the next-
yada. Keep going on the third line.
Yeah, that next word, yada, is it yada? You said, I can't, the letter's cut off.
That's correct. Yada.
Yada.
Yada. That's correct.
Yada, yoshke et halashon shel ba'alei hayim. Like, oh yeah, hayim. Vel libo haya, what is it? Haya, maybe? Haya?
Haya? Correct.
Malay ahava la. No, there's something funny.
Adonai. Okay, because
Oh,
anytime you see that hey with the slash
Yud.
mark, so you've got la is a prefix that means to or for or towards God, towards God. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna quickly translate this for you, and then we're gonna have some. That's very good. So we used to count up at the end how many words the person read, and then we get a prize. A prize. Oh, well, piece of candy or something. So Yoshke, so these are Yiddish speakers, right? Yoshke, like Joseph or Joey. Yoshke is his name. Yoshke was a Jewish boy in a village. He did not learn Torah. Yoshke didn't learn Torah. And also to read in the Siddur, and he didn't read, and he also didn't know how to read from the Siddur. But Yoshke knew the Lashon Shah. He knew the language of Ba'alei Chayim, of animals, of creatures. He knew the language of creatures. And his heart was full of love for God. He's a nice boy. He's illiterate, but he's a nice kid, Yoshke. Okay, who wants to start? You did well, Diana. You get a lollipop. I'll mail
Wish
it
I
to
could
you.
really get it.
Wouldn't she be surprised if she really gets one? It would be so funny. Okay. Who would like to start on the next one? Remember, there's a bunch of sharks in your ocean.
I'll do it.
Share.
All right,
Oh,
who
sorry, you
said
go
I'll
on.
do it? Who said they were going to do it?
I'll do it.
Who was that?
Michelle.
Who said it? I have
Michelle?
not everybody on the screen.
Okay.
Who was it?
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay, Michelle, go for it.
Kaasher gadal yoshke lakach oto aviv bayom hakipurim el beit hatfila ama hanar
Ahmad.
You say Ahmad?
All right, Sherry Fox got you. Ahmad, Sherry. Go ahead.
Ha'ar? Hana'ar? I didn't say that? Okay, go ahead.
No, Ahmad. You said Amar. The word before it.
Oh, it's Ahmad with a dalet, not Amar. Ahmad.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, you got me. You go.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Sherry.
Oh, I have, okay. Hana'ar. Hakifri.
Oh, that should be
Hakafri.
A Kafri.
All right, who got her?
I did. Mary Lynn.
Okay, go ahead.
Barry Lynn Rubin.
Bain, Hamid, Pauline, Shama, Et, Cole, Hazak. Oh, it's Hafazan.
Hazan.
Hazan.
Ahazan.
Go ahead, Ellen. You
I'm
got
gonna
her.
get the first word wrong.
And that big word, Sherry, look at that big word. I want you to look at the word after the number 8. Hamit palalim. Hamit palalim, the prayers, the ones who pray. Okay, Aline got you on Hachazan. Who is Hachazan?
The cancer. Or the,
Yeah, the Chazan. But when they put the ha in front of it, everybody freaks out. Chazan, the cantor, right? But you just saw Chazan, you would be like normal, but you see Chazan. Oh my God, it must be a new word. I got you. Keep going.
Varatsa, Lahit, Halel, Aval, Hu, Lo, Yada, Regrow. Potom, Chomp,
Piton.
That's it. Okay, got it.
Tom,
Piton.
somebody got
Piton,
you.
yeah.
They just took a chunk out of you. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Diana got you. Go on, Diana.
Oh my
Pitom.
God. I think that was the first one. Okay. Sham, Yoshke,
Sam.
Shtay.
All right, who was that? Was that Beryl?
No.
Oh, Sam. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Elaine, you want to
Sam.
read? Okay,
Yeah.
Sam. Okay, you got Diana. Go ahead, Helene.
Okay. Sam. I'm not gonna do good at this. Sam yo
Sham.
de ke shita
Chate.
Today.
shita.
Chate.
So somebody else corrected me?
Yeah, who corrected you?
Everybody corrected me.
Who is of the everybody? Beryl, were you one of the correctors? Because you
No.
haven't read.
No, I
I was
haven't.
one.
All right, go ahead. I want you to
lost
continue.
For a minute.
Find the 10. Look and find the 10 in the
You know, I
second
know
paragraph.
who you are. I know who you are.
What did you lose? Your mind?
Yes.
Yes.
I was in my ESL class and I was doing a game with them. And it was a team game. There are 2 teams and they're really competitive against each other. And I see one girl puts her head down like this. And I said, what are you doing? Are you praying? She was thinking of the answer. And she's got her head down. All right. Sam Yoshke stay. Okay, go now to the last, next to the last line in that paragraph, Beryl.
Oh, okay. Somebody's gonna correct me right away because you get me on the hard words.
Take it slow. Look at the vowel.
That's for oat.
It's.
Go ahead, Beryl. Give her a chance. All
Oat. Etzbaot.
right. Etzbaot.
Here.
Good. Keep going.
Befar. Befear.
See what this is? Puts fear into you. This game. They'll attack any minute. Dun, 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 dun. The thief.
Befear. The shar. Aha.
Come on, people, wake up.
Ush.
Oosh.
Ushri.
Ushrika. Ushrika.
Ushrika. Who said Ushrika? I heard it.
That's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Nidol.
All right, Alin, go.
Nidola.
It's oh, wait, she got you. Ushrika.
Good.
Halt. Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good. Nishma, Ishma'a, Biveit Hatfila, Harad, Hakahal, Vishal, Me, who, it's hard to read
This
this.
it is two dots, two dots.
okay.
Hashay.
Gets.
Okay. Beryl, you know Yiddish, right, Beryl?
Yeah.
A little.
Beryl, are you there?
I know it.
All right. What is, that's a
non-Jewish boy.
term.
Yeah,
It's in
non-Jewish
Yiddish.
person.
A
All right, the
non-Jewish boy.
shegets. What are you coming home with the shegets tonight?
Yeah.
That's the way it's used. Shegets. Okay. It's the opposite of shiksa. Shiksa and a shegets. That's a pair.
Well, they go hand in hand, kind of.
Right, but it's nowadays you don't want to say that. It's really not nice. It's very
I'm lucky.
disrespectful.
I don't know any of that because I have Jewish daughters-in-law.
Okay,
I'm
good.
lucky.
All right, but that is not nice to say if you know Yiddish. You don't say that. Mihu hashegets, and when I saw this in the story, I go, whoa.
Asher, Asa, Davar, Kazeh, Bimakom, Karosh.
Kadosh.
Oh, it's hard to see the difference. Right, you're right, Kadosh. Okay.
Keep going.
Next one. Next.
Who found it? Who heard her?
Me.
Yeah.
Vaharav.
Who's me? Me, Sherry?
Yeah.
Sherry.
Vaharav. Hazakain.
Cain.
I can't even read this.
Cain.
Kana.
Anna.
Kana.
Beryl, did you just say that?
Yeah.
She did.
What is I can't even read the letter. What is the letter?
Go ahead, Beryl.
Hey,
Hannah.
hey.
Hannah.
Do you see what happens here though? That every student in the class had his eyes and her eyes glued on the reading. I got them all to concentrate because they wanted to get their friends out.
Have no fear. I'll get through maybe two more words. I'll.
Come on, Beryl.
No.
L.
See? L and it's
No,
always I'll.
that's good. L. Beryl, keep reading or we'll be here till 5 o'clock.
Hakao. Ow.
Kakao.
All right, let it go because we're going to be here till 3. Hakahal. Keep going.
Vamar.
The Amar will just help her through this. Come on.
Okay.
She's swimming to shore very rapidly.
Hatzadik. Share.
Share.
Hatach.
Shara.
Shahare.
Go ahead, Sha'areh, I heard it. Keep going.
Oh, I
Come
thought
on,
somebody
Beryl.
was continuing for me.
We're almost by the sand.
Damar.
Shemayim.
Mayim.
The last word, forget it. All right. Do you guys have a minute or two? Or does everybody have to go and make a challah? All right. We'll make this very quickly. All right. Yoshka Haya, a Jewish boy, a Jewish village boy. He didn't learn Torah, and Yoshka also didn't know how to read in the Siddur. But Yoshka knew the language of creatures, of animals, and his heart was filled with love for God. When okay, when Yoshka grew up, his father took him on Yom Kippur to the synagogue, Beit HaTfilah. Yoshka, the village boy stood amongst the people who were praying. He heard the voice of the Chazan and wanted to pray, but he didn't know how to read. Suddenly, Yoshka put 2 fingers in his mouth and whistled, and a big whistle was heard in the synagogue. The congregation trembled and asked, who is this Christian, this non-Jew?
It says rascal, the
who did-
translation.
Well, they, come on, otherwise we wouldn't get the book published. Who is this kid who did a thing like this in a holy place? And the old rabbi turned to the congregation and said, who is the tzaddik who opened the gates of heaven for for our prayers? So what do you make of that? What's the moral here? I think it's a beautiful story. What does that mean? And then I'll let you go.
The rabbi was trying not to embarrass him.
Right, but
you don't have to be very.
why did he compliment him?
You don't have to
Diana?
be. You don't have to be very learned to pray. It has to be what's in your heart. So
Right,
even if
and
all
he-
you
he
do is
wanted-
whistle or-
Right, this was his only way of showing love, the whistle. He wanted to participate and he wanted to praise God in some way. And the cantor is singing, so they're singing, and this was his form of singing. He was imitating the birds, right? He loved animals, so he did like a
nice.
bird call. And it's a beautiful story because, like the story about Akiva, it shows that anybody at any level is capable of learning and also of being Jewish and having religion in their heart. So it's these are beautiful stories. I love these stories. The last one, your homework is, you can report back to me in September about the giving of the Torah, who was going to accept the Torah. And Matan comes from Notain, the giving of the Torah, and it's about how the Jews succeeded in getting the Torah over all the other, the nations. It's been a pleasure. It's been a fun road.
Thank you so much.
Carol,
Wonderful.
I hope
so
you've
much,
learned, I hope you've learned, and I hope you've enjoyed learning. That's the basic
Very
thing.
much
Yeah.
so.
Is
Thank you
enjoy
so
learning.
much.
will we be
Been fun.
notified in the fall of any continuing classes? Will we be
Yes.
automatically notified?
Now, the thing is, they will not let you, repeat a class, like you couldn't repeat intermediate, even with another teacher, because they want to make room for everybody to have a shot at the classes. So people who are advanced beginner want to go into intermediate. And unless they were thinking of possibly some new classes. So if they have some new classes, then you'd have a chance. But so you've already had 3, start from beginner, advanced, and this. And they need to, spread out to other people. But it's been a joy. It's been so much fun teaching you. This has been
I
something to look
thoroughly
forward to.
enjoyed it, even though I missed so many classes because of my surgery. If I come back, would I be able to take with these ladies that have been taking for 5 weeks that I've missed? Or am I that behind?
Well, they wouldn't be able to take an intermediate class again, because once they finish that, you might have a case that you missed a lot, because of illness.
Yeah.
But so you could appeal to Julia's sense of compassion. But
If they
others
open
can't
new
come back. But as I
classes-
said, there may be some others. And I still, when we talk about these things, in the summer and about setting up for the fall, I still would like to do. So what do you think about, was this hard? These stories
No.
too hard?
No,
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 it
the
was just
words
right.
were not difficult to
This
read.
is a challenge, I thought.
I
It is
know,
a
but
challenge,
I think
it's a
the
good
reading,
challenge.
they were basic words, you know,
Yeah.
it's not reading, the Siddur, a lot of the words sometimes are a little longer,
Yeah,
more
yeah,
difficult.
well, also a lot of the roots, when you see the roots, you know, in the way they appear, you know, in just in the past tense, he sat, he said, he did, he thought, and then you can see chashav, oh, you can see in a bigger word. Anyway, I like this book a lot, and
What is the name of the
we'll
book?
see what they offer.
What is the name
What,
of the
Michelle?
book? What is the name
Well,
of
it's
the
not
book?
it's not in publication anymore. Hebrew Through Values, but it's an old book.
Yeah, sometimes you can find
And
them.
yeah,
How
maybe an old
how would you
bookstore.
go about finding it? How would you
I
go?
would go, I would look at some of the used book sites and just Google it.
Yeah,
and
it's called Hebrew Through
Through Values. Okay.
Through
Hebrew
values.
Through Values, THRU, Hebrew Through Values, Arakim. And it's a lovely book, and like I said, it lends itself to discussion
Mhm.
and certainly values, Hebrew values and the holidays. And it has about Yom Kippur and Sukkot and Shavuot. And so I really liked it. And I used it a lot with the kids. And they got used to it after a while. You know, they knew to look in the vocabulary. They knew with the number, they looked right on the bottom. And they loved playing shark.
I can see why. Thank you, Carol. This has been wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank you
Carol.
so much.
This is fun.
Amazing.
Yes, Rakoa.
Also Shabbat
Very
service,
grateful.
you've made it very meaningful for us. Thank you.
Carol,
Right.
do you
But
think
I
you're gonna
hope
give
you
us
all go
some
forth.
warning over when they release the class schedule for next year?
Carol, the
That
way
we-
that it works is when you get the Women's League emails every week, they list what's going on. They put their calendar in there and they list what's going on. They come, are you on the list to get the Women's
Yeah,
League?
and I get it, but the thing is, I never was looking for it because we were
Right, so
automatically.
you really just have to watch
Sherry
for it
Lynn is,
because
you
they
know,
put it out.
figuring that.
They do give you
Sherry,
a little
Lynn,
bit
wanna-
of warning that it's coming then. Yeah.
You get an email.
You know,
Yeah.
what,
Okay.
what I would
Thank you very
do-
much, Carol. It was really fun.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you
It
so
was
much.
wonderful.
Bye.
It was
Really
Machayah,
appreciate
as
everybody.
they
it.
say.
My goodness, all your
So,
time. Thank you.
Good
If
Lovely
I
summer,
were
book.
you, Carol,
Shabbat
you
shalom.
could send.
All of you have a
Carol-
wonderful
Shalom.
summer.
Yes, thank
wonderful
you.
summer.
Be
Same
well,
to all. Be
everybody.
well.
Everybody
Be
feel
Any
better.
more
healthy.
sickness.
Take care.
Good health,
Okay.
everyone.
Yes,
Shabbat
thank you.
shalom.
Shabbat
Have a
shalom.
good
Shabbat
night and
Well,
have a great
Carol,
summer.
Shabbat
Thank
Shalom.
you.
Okay.
Carol, I don't
Love
remember you
Love you all.
mentioning, I don't remember you mentioning before that you do ESL. So that was my field. So that was interesting
Oh,
that you mentioned that.
really? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still doing it part-time. Yeah, I love it.
I thought I would do
It's
it
great.
part-time, but I'm too busy having fun doing these sort of things. On Zoom.
Yeah.